Mike, thanks for your time after what has been a tough afternoon. Give us your perspective on what happened today.
Well, what happened was plain to see. Another week's gone by where we go down to 10 men, and at this level of football, it's very, very difficult. I thought at one point we looked reasonably confident on the ball. We weren't a real threat going forward, but we looked confident enough to come here and take the ball. After the sending off, everything really opens up in Liverpool's favour, and then it was just a case of trying to reconstruct whole City out on the football field to try and stay in the game and try and at least be effective when we could be. But listen, we're playing against exceptional quality, and it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, they know how to find space in tight areas, and obviously you did your homework before coming into today. But did you expect despite the one-man disadvantage, did you expect that kind of onslaught today?
Yeah, I think most teams that are going to play Liverpool this season expect them to dominate possession at home. The crowd get right behind them. You have to learn lessons quickly. You have to be able to compete, and you have to be able to perform at stadiums like this. I think we probably have learned a harsh lesson today, but hopefully going forward and in the future we can take something from this. There's always positives and negatives from every performance. Some players did reasonably well, some players didn't do as well as expected, but overall we stay together, and we're a team that is looking forward, not backwards. We have to perform at a better level against the better teams, but we've got to prepare ourselves for what matters, and that is, the next few games and the next challenges ahead, and it's a long season.
Yeah, there's a couple of chances in the second half rather than the first. Myler, of course, getting the Tigers on the score sheet. How pleasing is it for you, considering the lack of chances, you've been able to get something this afternoon in terms of goals?
Well, it was always, once we had to change from 10 men, it was always going to be difficult to be any threat whatsoever. But like we've said before, set pieces, corners, those sorts of things always give you that little bit of an advantage at that moment in time. We capitalised on something which made everything look probably a little bit more respectable at 3-1. But then concentration lets us down. We fall back into a defensive mode, and you can't allow players of that quality to be able to come inside the game and bend the ball in the back of the net. So we have to grow up, and we have to grow up quickly.
And one last one, the fans today, they stayed right until the end and they've sung their hearts out again. How pleasing is it that you've got this great travelling contingent week in, week out to help the side along?
I've got nothing but admiration for the supporters. I think it's been difficult for them, but their expectation is what our expectation is, and that is to do better, to make sure we're challenging, to make sure we're in football matches more times than we're not. Yes, over the last couple of weeks we've had a difficult time, but we've played probably two of the potential champions, and we're probably looking at it from a different perspective. But we have to be competitive, and we have to learn those lessons quickly, because there's another game, and then there's a break, and we have to then regroup, rebuild, and look forward to whatever challenge comes our way, because it's a long while after that international break, but we have to be ready for Bournemouth and the other clubs that come our way.